Problem 22. Let K be the kite formed by joining two right triangles with legs 1 and square root 3 along a common hypotenuse. 8 copies of K are used to form the polygon shown below. What is the area of triangle ABC? So we can calculate the area of ABC by just using the basic base times height over 2 formula. We notice that the base is 2 times this length, and we can take the height as this height right here. So let's calculate the base first. To do that, we just need to calculate this length because we know the base is going to be 4 times this length. So the problem tells us that K, the kite, is formed using the two right triangles. So an example of K would be right here. So if we draw this hypotenuse right here, we know that this is a right angle and this is a right angle, and both of these triangles, these right triangles, are going to be 30, 60, 90 triangles. Specifically, this is the 30-degree angle, this is the 60-degree angle. And we know that the legs have length 1 and square root 3. And remember, we want to find this length right here. So I'm going to draw this shape a little bigger over here so that it's easier to see, like this. And so we notice that this triangle right here, this one, is an equilateral triangle. So we can definitely use that. So for example, we know this length, we know this length here is 1, and this length here is also 1. So the equilateral triangle has base 2. And moreover, so we know also that this triangle here, we know that this triangle here is also equilateral because from our original diagram we have a 60-degree angle here. And then we also know that since this triangle here is equilateral, that this angle here is 60 degrees, which means this must be 60 degrees as well, so this angle also has to be 60 degrees. So since this here is an equilateral triangle, since we know this length here is 1, this length is also 1, and this length is also 1. But since we said our equilateral triangle has side length 2, we know that this segment here has length 2 minus 1, or 1. But that tells us that the two triangles, this triangle and this triangle, which are clearly similar, they have side length ratios of 1 to 2. So that tells us that if this here is 1, then this segment here must be half. So basically we know that this segment in our diagram has length 3 over 2. So going back to the area of triangle ABC that we're asked about, we know the base is 4 times this length, or 6. And now we can look at the height. So for the height, we can just consider this segment right here. So as we said before, we figured out that using this right triangle, the problem tells us that this length here is square root 3. So all we need to do now is to find this length for the height. And as we solved before, previously we said that that this length was half, and since we know that this triangle here is a 60, 30, 90 triangle, then this triangle, this triangle right here must also be a 60, 30, 90 triangle. And thus we know that this length right here, this length, has length square root 3 divided by 2. Because this is the 30-degree angle and this is the 60-degree angle. Okay, so basically that's like saying this length here is square root 3 divided by 2. And we know the entire height here, which is basically this, is the height of an equilateral triangle with base 2. And we can just calculate that. It should be square root 3. So this length here is going to be square root 3 minus square root 3 over 2, which is equal to square root 3 over 2. And actually we could have just seen that before, because as we already said, this triangle here and this triangle here are similar, so of course the height of the smaller equilateral triangle would be half the height of the larger equilateral triangle. So we really didn't have to start with the smaller triangle if we didn't want to. But anyways, the height of triangle ABC is thus square root 3 plus the square root 3 over 2, which equals 3 square root 3 over 2. So the area of ABC is base times height over 2, which is 6 times 3 square root 3 divided by 2, which equals 9 square root 3 over 2. So our final answer, 9 square root 3 over 2. So our final answer should be B.